same house and ate together and sat on the patio and drank together until all hours of the night and so forth. And we're starting an organization called International Parliamentarians for 9/11 Truth. And
is he from Australia or Japan?
Japan.
So I know it in the Japanese Parliament.
Yes, he has been
Okay,
working within the Japanese Parliament to expose all this and to get their Prime Minister to start an investigation, because after all, they lost a bunch of Japanese citizens in the World Trade Center. So there are people all over, in Germany and Italy and Great Britain.
It is a global
It
movement.
offers me some hope, because it can't be just us, I don't think. There's not enough Americans who are willing to hear and make that shift internally that they have to make in order to move toward the truth.
Well, a lot of those countries still have freedom of the press.
Are you working with Bill Pepper and the New York group that's starting a citizens-based movement to develop subpoena powers? I guess the Citizens Initiative from New York City. Are you involved with that directly?
Yeah.
Group? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, how much potential do you think that has to sort of get
I
involved
spoke
with
to that group, I don't know, like 3 nights ago.
Oh, okay.
Down in St. Mark's in the village.
Is that like a serious effort? Do you think it's gaining any kind of...
Yes, it's a very serious effort. They've got over 10,000 signatures so far, and the city has made it very, very difficult for them, because the city has required that everybody that signs that petition has to sign on 3 different pages, and it's like they're signing their life away. You know, do you understand that the head of this commission will earn $100,000 a year and blah 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 and so forth, and you know, they say, wait a minute, my taxes are high enough. They have to say, well, there's no tax money going to be involved in this. It's all privately funded. The funding is there, and you know, but they've made it very difficult for them to get signatures, and yet they have over 10,000 signatures already in New York City.
The other thing is, I'm sorry, if anybody's heard of the We Are Change people, there are actually now journalists in different cities around the country. I met the founders at a Ron Paul event that are going up to people like David Rockefeller, like John McCain, like Barack Obama, and asking them direct questions about 9/11. And usually they try to ignore it, but every now and then something slips out. Like John McCain just lost his temper once, and it's very revealing when they have these moments. So all this stuff is being exposed on the internet.
Yeah, some of that is useful. In some cases, I think the kids have gotten carried away and become obnoxious.
Ambush journalism. Yeah, it is that.
And
but,
rude and obnoxious, and I think they've turned off a lot of people onto the 9/11 truth movement. And my message to those folks is, ask the questions, but be courteous and don't go to the point where you have to get yourself thrown out and everybody is booing you and telling you to shut up and everybody's mad at you.
Right.
I mean, I've seen that happen personally. Yes, ma'am.
It's on John McCain. Do you have any comments about his very different politics from your own, in spite of your having shared a Vietnam experience?
Well, we had very different experiences in Vietnam. I think I flew more missions than he did. I didn't get shot down. I didn't have to spend all those years in prison getting tortured and perhaps selling out my troops to get out of it. With all the guilt that comes from that, he's obviously a very angry man, and our experiences were very different.
I
I just want to put a plug in with everybody that we do have a local citizens group here that's interested in 9/11 truth and other truth issues, health truth issues that the media is not telling us about. So if you're interested in those kind of issues, you want to get active locally, come see me after the talk. I'll take your email address and plug you into. We're probably going to try to get Richard Gage to Worcester State College next fall, probably to give a speak. And so if you want to get involved in events like that,
He's the head of architects and engineers for Now with the Truth. So a lot of professionals are involved with that group. They've done analysis of dust, and they've shown the evidence of thermate and thermite and all kinds of explosive, materials. And, so they're doing the hard scientific work.
Okay, I think we should wrap it up. I just want to reiterate that I see a future in which a president makes a speech similar to mine as possible. I think before that happens, we may have to take Congress back. And before we can do that, we may have to work our tails off on electoral reform and media reform. We have a lot of other things we're working on. We're working on the Iraq War, we're working on Iran, we're working on nuclear weapons, we're working on power plants, women's rights, global warming, Native American rights, children's rights, all of these things, and they're all important. But again, as I said in my speech, none of us will be able to make much progress in any of those things as long as real power is in the hands of those who profit from war, poverty, and pollution. We need to take the power away from them. And it can be done, and we must do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.